Wednesdays started on April 1st with a humble episode on forgiveness. Between then and now, we've had heart-led conversations on happiness, stress management, relationships, resilience, public speaking, respecting boundaries, self-discovery, mindset, just being, listening, reclaiming your life, intuition, and even food. I would like to thank all my listeners and the guests who gave me their time and trust. It is because of you that we kept going. It is because of you that we kept growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. When I created that video, we were just 15 episodes into these conversations, and today we are at a whopping 95 episodes. I have with me a very special lady, somebody you all know from her various social media platforms. She is a gem of a person. She is a self-development expert, an ICF-certified life coach, and author. She's recognized as one of the most influential personalities and voices of the community during the Women Empowerment Initiative. Hanan was awarded for the same by His Highness Sheikh Faisal Al Qassimi in 2015. She is also a recipient of the Government Youth GCC Rising Stars 2021, awarded by the Government Youth Summit to the top 20 young achievers under 25 from across the region. Now, I could go on with reading about her, telling you about her, but you know what? Let me just bring her on board because I know you're here to meet Hanan. Thank you so much, Hanan, for saying yes, and I welcome you to the conversation. Thank you.
Hello, Ruqya. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm happy to be here. Really excited for our conversation.
Yes, I am excited too because today we're talking about healing and self-love. Now, doesn't the world need so much of that?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you're constantly listening to other people's, problems and challenges in life. You need to refill that, and you need to be the right source.
Exactly. And it's beautiful because your own journey is that of healing and that of self-love, and that's where all your inspiration and understanding of life itself comes, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I think we are having a little bit of trouble with being relayed. Hanan? Okay, I basically there's a little bit of a we're not able to receive your audio as well as video. Your video is frozen, and yes.
Should we leave and then come back again?
Okay, I'll stay because the broadcast links remains the same because it's being relayed. So yes, you could leave and come back again, hoping that it'll be fine then.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes, sometimes technology has a mind of its own, and to put it differently, all good things need for us to be a little bit patient. So thank you guys for waiting on us, and this is definitely going to be a conversation that you are looking forward to, and a conversation that is going to bring so much value to you as well. All right. So we've got Hanan here.
Hi. Hi
Hi.
again. Is my
Hi.
voice?
Yes, it's definitely better. There was a little glitch where the video was frozen, but we're back now, so
We're back. Amazing.
that's all that matters. So tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay. So yes, we're talking about healing today. We're talking about self-love. But see, even those terminologies, they weren't really familiar with me when I started 8 years back in this whole entrepreneurship world, wanting to be on my own, quitting my corporate job that was very highly paid. It was great, but I always felt like there was something more to life than just working in a normal admin job. And I didn't know the way. I didn't nobody gave me like a blueprint or like a map. This is what you're gonna do, because I'm coming from a background of my parents are very successful in their career. They are, coming from a managerial role. So me separating myself from that, it was a challenge. It was a challenge to start my own consultancy firm and not have guidance at the beginning or support. So there was that aspect, the business aspect, learning marketing, learning personal branding, learning how to do business, learning how to get clients, and learning the craft itself as a
Mm,
life coach, getting the certification, getting the knowledge, and then working with another aspect, which is your well-being. So how am I supposed to transition from someone who was a normal employee, basic salary? I didn't have to think about my money. I didn't have to think about serving or being of service to other people in that sense, in self-help. So there was a lot of transition. So there's change management. There's me becoming a different person. There's also the attack that I was getting from family members, relatives, community, and who do you think you are, leaving your corporate job and not being like us, you know?
mm,
Yeah. So of course you're gonna get doubt in the beginning because you're not sure even of your journey because there was nothing clear for me. But I always believed in people. I always believed in people's potential. I always believed that even one person can make change. So I followed that. How? I don't know. I just followed that. So healing and self-love, it came when I really wanted to just be okay. Because in 2020, I think all the pressure and all the stress that I had building my career, I think everything just came up in 2020. It was accumulated. And so, COVID happened. I closed my office. I couldn't pay the rent. My parents went on their separate ways. They got divorced after 35 years. I had my own eternal struggle. Yes, I don't have a company that is, like $1 million company, but I feel like my my journey was all about my internal struggle and how you can really separate yourself from the need to fit in and get society's approval and do something for your own and work through your potential. So I
mm,
think this is how I measure my success from time to time because I have my own measuring system. I made the mistake before of having, my mom's measuring system or my father, that's how much you're supposed to make every month. That's how old you're supposed to get married. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to dress. So yes, so healing happened when I decided to just be okay and really overcome all those years that it was within me, but I think I was distracted with my journey. I think I just wanted to build so much that I forgot to stop. I forgot to check in with myself. Am I okay? What's happening?
mm,
Why am I gaining weight? Why am I feeling sick all the time? Why am I getting flu? I'm succeeding in one area, but I wasn't really happy. I wasn't really
mm.
happy. And so I sought help from energy healers, from therapists. Honestly, I didn't know what the terminology healing really meant. Only when I actually, sought help from someone who's a professional. I just got her name. People recommended that, speak to this person. I didn't know her background, where is she from. But when you're in desperate Ruqya that you want someone to hear you, to listen to you, to understand what depression is. And so she was, my answered
Absolutely.
prayers. And this is how I got into the whole, healing and what self-love really means. And it's a big word. It's not just, going to the spa, putting makeup, grooming. It's really accepting your faults. It's really honoring the human journey and the human experience, that you are not perfect, and you must be okay with that. And that you sometimes think that you're living your own life, but it's not your life, it's your mom's life. So it's the courage to actually deal with those beliefs and overcome those beliefs. So it's a lot of things. We can get deeper, of course. But
True.
yeah,
I love what you said. You live your own life, and then you realize it's not your life; it's your mom's life. And you realize it's
yeah,
probably your neighbor's life or somebody else's, or probably a role model that you've taken on and not even realize it, because unconsciously you feel like you have to be like somebody else to be liked, right? And I love what you said about finding that one person who would listen to you and to be in acceptance of yourself completely, because that's what I'm all for. I believe that the concept of perfection is flawed.
yeah,
We're constantly told to, it isn't perfect. I can't really do this already because I'm not perfect at it. No, I think as long as you're making progress at it, it's fine. It's good. So when we look at self love as well, we kind of wait until a point where we feel deserving enough to receive
mhm,
that love for ourselves. So when do you realize that there is more to it? Okay, we already have a question.
that's
So, yeah, so Kunan asks, what's the difference between self love and selfish? Hmm.
amazing. By the way, this question is amazing. Thank you for asking that, because I think the barrier for me to gain self-love or to be in that journey was me being afraid that if I really love myself, I'm gonna become selfish. And so I didn't want to ruin my career. I didn't want to ruin my love for people and me being of service. And so I was stopping myself, sabotaging myself. Every time I felt deserving, I would go back to criticism. Every time I felt worth it, I would go back to judging myself so I can, you know, break myself, because that's what, being of service is all about. That's what being good is all about. But I realized this is also a belief from our parents, from our old generations, from our ancestors, that you know what, you're supposed to suffer. There's a saying in Arabic that says, they usually say it for mothers: كوني الشمعة التي تنير درب الآخرين والتي لا تنطفئ. بما معنى be the candle that is lighting people's lives. Be the candle. Yeah, but candles burn
Burn
eventually.
out. They
Yeah,
burn out.
for other people. And
It's
this is, yeah, it's a concept I got from my grandma, and that's how I saw that being a giver is all about. But when I got sick and I couldn't really help other people, that's when I realized that no, I'm supposed to be full so I can give from a full cup. I can't give from an empty cup. So I
true.
think people who really understand self-love, they're actually givers. They're actually influencers. They actually have so much to give because they're giving themselves. So it's what you're giving to yourself. It's how you define self-love. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of lack? You know what? Because my parents treated me like this, I'm not gonna care about anyone anymore. So I'm just gonna love me, 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 me. But this is also lack, you know? This is also, it's like the other side of the coin. Being selfish is not okay. And loving yourself too much in a way that just focusing on yourself is also not okay. It's.
You have to have that balance.
Yeah.
And and as you say that, what I'm reminded of is I had this conversation with an uncle of mine. He's a lot like a mentor, someone who's known me since I've been little. And one thing that he told me is there are four pillars on which your life is set, which is respect, love, trust, and hope. And he said the reason a lot of us struggle is because we always expect to receive these from the other person. For instance,
Yeah.
I will expect that Hanan is going to respect me, she's going to love me, she's going to trust me and give me hope. However, this equation works only when I am first able to give this to myself and then show Hanan that this is my language of love. This is what I see as respect for myself. This is how I see trust. This is how I see hope. And then you are actually kind of decoding, unpacking for the other person how you receive these, and then you're better able to receive it.
Exactly, exactly. I love what you said. And I think this happens when you understand yourself, when you
Yes.
understand your needs, and when you're not, shy or ashamed of your needs. Because we're also brought up with this idea or this limiting belief. Some of us in this part of the society, or maybe it's in other societies, but I've seen people struggle with this, is that you feel bad for asking. You feel
Hmm.
bad for asking for love. You feel bad for, I don't want to ask too much. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to burden other people. And so we'd feel ashamed of our needs. But if our needs were not met, how are we supposed to help other people meet their needs? How are we supposed to be of service? And so it all comes back to understanding yourself and not being ashamed of your needs not being met, because you are here to be loved, you're here to be appreciated. This is part of being human, it's part of flourishing.
Hmm.
So that also took me a lot of time to just be okay with asking,
Hmm.
you know be okay with asking.
How do you come to that point of being okay with asking?
I think for me it wasn't really a balanced journey where I started step by step, and then I moved my way up, and then I asked and everything was okay. It wasn't like that. For me, it was me bottling up so much for years because I was shy to ask, because I was, helping my mom, helping my sisters, because I'm the eldest girl. And so, to be accepted, validated, and loved, I'm supposed to be the good girl, always looking neat, always helping her sisters, brushing her hairs. So if I would make a mistake, I'd get punished because I'm the role model, I'm the example. And so I didn't really understand it back then. I wasn't in that awareness. And so I accepted it.
Hmm.
But then when I started feeling sick, when I started feeling, physically sick, mentally sick. I got chest pain, I got heart pain, and that really bothered me when I started resenting other people. And
Hmm.
that was the sign for me, and I need to come to that point. Why? Because when I'm driving and I don't let other people pass in front of me, you know, why am I punishing strangers? That's when I realized that I am so angry. But then I was too shy and I was too ashamed of my anger. But it happened because I was suppressing too much. So that was the moment where I actually felt like, oh my god, I need to ask more. When I actually exploded, I had a very difficult conversation with my mom, with my dad, with my brother, with my sisters. I just couldn't take it, and I was surprised with myself. I started shivering. When you're so quiet all
Really?
your life and suddenly you just burst into anger, like really anger and huge, and you start breaking things. I feel like, where is that coming from? So that was my sign. That was the sign that, oh my God, I need help. I really need to start asking so I don't get to that point, and push people away and not even like myself. Yeah.
Hmm. I definitely hear you, and I respect that you're sharing this because everybody else has probably seen a different side of you. But it's so important to understand that everybody goes through a journey. What
Yes.
what you're seeing on the outside, or what you might be seeing, over social media and everything, comes after a journey. It's not everybody has good days and bad days, but the power is in accepting and taking ownership and being vulnerable, because I believe vulnerability is a superpower. So
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that.
of course, of course. Um, Also, I worked on that. When you said vulnerability, I love it. Also, that was a limiting belief that I had, and I've seen people, my friends, my relatives have that as well. If I share, I'm going to be weak. And I fell into that trap. But, not being able to share, first of all, I got sick, as I said, and I pushed people away, and I missed opportunities. I really missed opportunities. If I was able to share before and really talk about what I'm going through, that would have saved me a lot of heartbreaks. That would have saved me a lot of friendships, maybe. And so it's important to address it and really, this is an advice for everyone is to share what you're going through. You'd be surprised by the amount of support you get from people because people are feeling the same. Whether you're from any different nationality, any different religion, people are people. They have dreams, they have ambitions, they have goals. No matter how different you look like or where you're from, you are a person with needs, with emotions, with dreams. We're a lot similar to each other than we think.
True, true. And I've spoken about my smile strategy in different countries. So I've presented it in Singapore, in India, in UK, Egypt, Kuwait, a few countries already, Alhamdulillah. And the thing is, everybody has the same limiting beliefs. Everybody has the same chatter in their mind, whether it's Egypt, whether it's Singapore, whether it's UK, it doesn't matter. Because when I ask them what's holding you back, the thing is about I'm not enough, or the thing is about am I worth receiving this success? Things that people say in their mind, they're all literally the same no matter where in the world we are. So I do agree, we're all the same, we're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah. And it's a scary journey, healing. It's not like what people think, you're just going to just doing your yoga postures or your kind of prayers or just doing healing with or coaching with one person or a professional. It's really scary to be able to face the things that you didn't want to face, basically. I call it as your monsters are finally coming out of the closet and you're looking at them for the first time. It's not a fun journey. It's very scary. And I didn't really enjoy it in the beginning for a year. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God, I was doing that, but it wasn't really me. Or I was doing that and I thought I was wrong, but I was right all this time. So you get a lot of reflections and you feel like, I don't know, for me, I felt like I was being slapped one way or another. Felt I was drowning. I felt scared most of the time and angry because everything is coming out now. But then after that year, the second year of healing was when I started reaping the rewards. Everything changed when I was able to make my own decisions. Because before I thought I was making my own decision, but it wasn't me. It was from a place of fear, my limiting beliefs. You have to suffer to be loved, or you have to sacrifice your life for success, or my favorite one, you have to choose between success and love. And that really limited me, you know, not being married and I was criticized, Ruqya, even you as a coach. Um, I'm not sure if you believe in that or not, but when people say that the world is your reflection,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when you get a criticism, it's not really them, it's you thinking that about yourself. And that's just, they're mirroring what you feel. And so when
Yep.
people criticized me for not being married, I'm in my 30s now. You're supposed to be married in this age. Here we have in the GCC, you're
Right.
just scared about work. And I got upset, but it wasn't really them. It was me thinking that I had to do this, that I had to
Right.
sacrifice. So when you take ownership of your life, when you take ownership of even your mistakes, things change. Things do start changing.
They definitely start changing. And I do love that word ownership, because a lot of times we don't take ownership, we push the blame on others, or we think that it has to be served to us on a platter. But guess what? It doesn't. So we have a question, and I'm going to take up Vidya's question before I go to the next one from Kunen. She says, Hanan, you said it's fine to ask for love to be able to give love, and it's okay to ask for what we need. But it's always said that we need to command love, respect, etc., not ask from them. Please explain.
What do you mean by command love? So are you saying that I need to command it aggressively? Or I'm not really sure I got that question.
Hmm.
I said that we need to command love. I mean, commanding is the same as asking, but maybe the word command is more aggressively. So are you saying we shouldn't take no for an answer? I need this, I need this?
Type it
But it's,
in comments, Vidya.
yeah, if you can send us another question. But I think it's the same thing. If you ask them, it's the same as you commanding them. But I think asking them would be nicely and politely and, not blaming them. And yeah, and really speaking from a place of, of vulnerability. Like,
Hmm.
I understand that this is your way. This is what would make me feel good. So I would really appreciate if you would talk to me this way or not use that word. This is asking for your needs.
So if I understand that question a little better, because Vidya is a good friend of mine, so I'm just assessing what she might be asking. So Vidya is likely asking you that we need to be um, when she says command, it's not from a place of being aggressive, I believe. It's more from a place of, there she is.
Awesome.
Good. I'm glad I didn't put words in her mouth. I mean, we need to prove or justify the worthiness of such emotions and not expect to be given it for free. See, I was just going to say that.
Beautiful. Okay, need to prove or justify. So expect to be given for free. Yes, I think I agree with you, Vidya. But again, how are we proving? How are we? Yes, I feel, for example, I'm having a conversation with my sister. I feel really bad. And I'm not supposed to, yes, prove to her that I feel bad, that, give me that. You're supposed to be there for me. I am worthy of your love. Yes, but at the same time, how would she know how I'm feeling if I didn't tell her that? So I would say it in a different way. Yeah, I would ask for my love and not be given for free. Yes, I would ask for her giving me love. I would ask for her giving me, being there for me, calling me more. And yes, not expecting it for free because she wouldn't know how I'm feeling. She wouldn't know what I need. Because so many times I even had this conversation with my sister that she's like, I didn't know that you like me calling you. I'm like, huh. But then I was wrong because I didn't really ask her to call me. But I was just telling her, why aren't you there for me? But I didn't really ask her or specify exactly how I want her to be there for me. So yes, we shouldn't expect it to be given for free, but we can ask for it. We
Right.
can ask.
And to elaborate on that, sometimes in some cultures, people say you shouldn't be asking for love. You should actually be worthy of the love. You should be so worthy of it that people come and give it to you, you know.
Yeah, for me,
I
that's
love I love how you rolled your eyes. You literally like just, oh yes.
you
Yeah.
know what? Because for me, I fell into that trap. That yes, I am worthy of love, and I did my affirmations, and I really worked on my healing and my self love, and I try my best to be a good person, and but at the same time, we can't really expect people to love us. I mean, that's condition.
Hmm.
Not everyone's gonna love you, even if you're amazing. Not everyone's gonna, respect what you're doing or giving, even if you're the best person on this universe. So for me, also to leave that condition was very liberating for me. Yes, I'm worthy of love, but not everyone's supposed to love me, and that's okay.
And not everybody understands that like to be loved. So it's okay to even ask.
Yeah, because you want to be loved from the right people as well. You don't want to be loved from everyone.
True. So thank you. Thanks, Hanan, says Vidya. And thank you, Vidya, for that question. We have one more question that has come up. It seems people all over have similar limiting beliefs because of of poor parenting. What's your take on that? And what's the solution?
Beautiful. Yes. Before I used to see it as, yes, you are absolutely right. It's poor parenting. But really, is it poor parenting? I
Ah,
mean,
thank you.
parents, yes, did that to us, but I don't think they intentionally wanted to harm us or cause us limiting beliefs and trauma. But at the same time, if you look at your parents not as your parent, as a different person from a different background, if you witness their parents and how they treated them, you would actually find out that they're doing the same thing as what their dad did. So yes, you reach to a point where you try to, of course, if you're traumatized, you would blame your parents. You're the reason I'm doing healing. You're the reason I'm not married. Yes, you come to this point, but at the same time, you will feel like you're going on this endless loop with no solutions. Because if they knew better, they would give you better. So it's just them doing their best. Because sometimes I even look at my mom not as my mom, I look at her as a different person. A
Hmm.
different person, a human with her own unmet needs, with her own ambitions. Just because we label a mother or a dad as a parent doesn't make them, you know, perfect as well. So we expect them to be perfect, but are we perfect also as daughters, as sons? You know? Yes, I do believe in conscious parenting. Nowadays, there's a lot of courses that people are offering, which is called conscious parenting or conscious relationship. That you have the awareness that I'm gonna bring kids into this world, and I'm gonna be up for it, and I'm gonna be responsible for it, and I'm gonna do this and that, and understand my kids' personalities are different. That's beautiful, But, you know, not everyone is the same. And I guess they do their best. And forgiveness is always the solution. So,
I was literally waiting for that magic word, forgiveness.
yeah,
Forgiveness, right? Because it's so tough. It's so tough to actually look at your parents as normal people and say they did the best with what they had, and it's time for me to let go. It's time for me to forgive. It's time for me to move on. It is definitely tough. And as I say that, people who know me know why I say that. So thank you for the questions, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your questions. And another one coming up is, what's the best way to manage negative emotions like anger?
I love this
Thank you.
question. So
Yes.
before
Thank you, Kanan.
I was really ashamed of anger. I thought it's this toxic energy that it makes me toxic. It makes me, not presentable. It makes me look bad, or like I'm not a good person if I get angry. So first of all, it's accepting that anger is okay. That's how
Yeah.
to manage it. That anger is okay. That anger is an emotion, just like joy, just like happiness, just like love, shame. It's an emotion. Anger is an emotion. So it's understanding that it's okay to feel angry. But now it's managing your anger. How to manage your anger? Understanding the root cause of the anger. So where is it coming from? What is making you angry? And then
Hmm.
when you find out what is making you angry, there's a solution for that situation. So what is making you angry? It's the people that talk to you. How are they talking to you? So maybe they usually ask you for things without your, or they take things without your permission, or they call you on the weekends if you're an employee. That means this is a sign for you to understand that I need to do boundaries. For example, I need to start saying no. That's why I'm angry, because I want to say no so much, but I can't, because I want their love or their approval, or they're gonna look at me as not helpful enough. And so understand your root cause of the anger and work your way through that. Yeah.
So I do daily quotes, and one of the quotes that I have of my own is, anger never stands alone.
Beautiful.
Right? It is always something underlying to the anger, to understand what is exactly going on. It's never just anger that happens. There's always a reason. And I think, to add to that, anger never stands alone. The angry do. Because not many people can take tantrums. Not many people can take it when you are exploding or letting go. As you said earlier, when you had that that moment where you had the blast, obviously people around you kind of decided, what's going on with her, why is she behaving this way, because you were behaving different from the usual you, which is cool and calm and absorbing of everything. So yeah, anger never stands alone.
And my healer used to say, Hanan, you can't really meditate on a volcano.
Ah, I like
So
that, love it.
you can't. So yeah, before, when people used to say count 1 till 10 and your anger is gonna go away. I'm sorry, but that's not true. This is not true. It's like you taking Panadol every time you get a headache. Understand why you have a headache. Where is it coming from? What is the signal? What is the sign? What is your body trying to tell you? And so understand the root cause is very important. And then part of the solutions can be you counting till 10, meditating, doing your usual spa, or, meditative routines, things like that. Everyone is different. Everyone is different.
Journaling. Journaling
Journaling.
helps. Yeah.
For me, my anger, what really helped me with was forgiveness again.
Hmm.
Really, really forgiving and working. And by the way, forgiveness is like a muscle. You practice it. You don't just do it one time. You write one forgiveness letter. Yeah,
I like that goosebump moment. Like, really, forgiveness is like a muscle. My takeaway from this session. Done. Unless we have more gems popping out. But yes, because I mean,
yes, it
honestly,
is.
you have to keep practicing forgiveness. And trust me, there will be more and plenty of moments in the day. And if you could just take moments, if you don't find anybody else doing mistakes, what if you could forgive yourself through the day? How would that be?
Beautiful. Beautiful. And you start forgiving when you step out of that victim role. That's when you start forgiving,
Please,
really.
please
You
repeat.
start forgiving you start forgiving other people when you step out of that victim role. That they're wrong, I am right. When you understand that they're also people doing their best, and somehow you had a part in that, where you didn't know how to defend yourself, you didn't know how to say no. Yes, you didn't. Also, you knew better. So it's forgiving them, forgiving yourself, and really being responsible for your life. Taking
Hmm,
responsibility, full responsibility, that I'm responsible for my life.
true. I think that a lot of times when you're angry just because you haven't forgiven somebody, it's almost like you're hugging a cactus
I love that.
and you're
Love-
saying, I'm holding on to this one
Right? Yeah,
because I don't know what would happen to if I let it go. Because when you let go of something, you're creating room for other things to come into your space. People just have to understand that, even if it is something that you need to forgive the other person for.
beautiful. Also, one of the reasons, Ruqayya, that it was hard for me to let go of anger was fear that if I did, maybe they're gonna harm me again. So it's easier to hold on to anger because that's the only way that I'll be protected. But if I understand that I'm a person with phenomenal skills and I can learn how to defend myself, I can learn how to say no, I can learn how to speak, then it's easier to let go of anger because I have other ways of protecting myself. So I don't need to hold on to anger.
So, what you're telling me is anger became your shield.
Of course, yes,
Hmm.
because that's the only way for me to not let other people, cross my boundaries or speak to me in ways I didn't want or harm me or say something or criticize me. So I would be angry, so people would step away. I'd push them literally because I didn't know other ways to defend myself. But when I learned other ways that I will be safe without anger and I just need skills, it was easier for me to let it go. And you
Hmm.
barely get angry after because truly that's healing. Your triggers become less and less with time.
True. And
Yeah,
and as you beautifully said, forgiveness is a muscle. You have to practice it. And as you practice forgiveness, I guess a little bit of that shield begins to wear off because you really don't need it anymore.
true.
Thank you. So, we're talking today about healing. We're talking about self love. And interestingly, just earlier in the day, me and Hanan were having a conversation where she asked me about my name and how to pronounce it. And I said, it's misspelled. It's called Ruqya, but it should be pronounced as Ruqya if you go with the spelling. But my actual name is Ruqayya. And interestingly, Ruqya means to heal with words.
Yeah,
So imagine that a misspelt name actually defined who I would be and what journey I would be on moving forward in life. How beautiful, how divinely beautiful was that mistake for me?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, you can apply that to so many things. I mean, basically it's like our sufferings in life or our lessons, the things that really upset us, cause us heart pain. They are blessings. They are blessings in disguise. But when do you know that? When you get into your healing journey and then
Mhm.
you start connecting the dots.
And you take ownership for it. That's important.
True.
So tell me about the power of words, because no, I wasn't talking about my name. I was talking more about the power of words itself. How does that connect with healing and self love?
Beautiful. I mean, if you see someone who's traumatized, if you see someone who's constantly judging themselves or not being able to get out of bed, just watch how they're talking to themselves. You would see that they're using words that are shameful, they're using words that are judgmental to themselves, they're using words that are constantly attacking. So, for example, I would always use this metaphor. It's pretty easy to comprehend, which is you are doing something on the wall and you have a hammer and you hit your finger by mistake. And so instead of, and you cut your finger, something happens to it, gets swollen. Instead of you cleaning your finger and, doing the band aid and really taking care of it, washing it, putting ice on it, putting cream, you would actually hit it more. That's exactly what you do when you criticize yourself and when you say those negative words to yourself and use those words. So, words have such a powerful effect on our physical health, on our mental health, on our self image and how we see ourselves.
Hmm.
That's why I do believe in the magic of affirmations. That's what worked with me. When I realized this happened when I started journaling. When I
Hmm.
started journaling and watching my triggers, exactly what triggered me, what made me upset, what made me angry, I would realize that I was taking part of that in a way that there were some things I was telling myself. So, for example, if someone criticized me, I would agree. Yes, yes, I'm a loser. Yes, yes, you're right, absolutely right. I am blah blah blah. I am this. I am this. So I was confirming that, and I was talking to myself in a very negative way. And so I watched, because of journaling and reflection, I started being the observer of how I'm speaking to myself. I look at myself in the mirror and I see, like I've gained weight. And automatically my eyes would go in the areas that I gained weight. And I would look at myself in a very negative way. Ew, like, why did I gain weight? I'm this, I am that, I'm that. I wouldn't look at the good parts. I would automatically just, be focusing on the negative parts. And so when I started changing my words, Ruqayya, just briefly, yani, it's not like, just to be honest, it's not like, I'm going to tell myself I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm smart, I am this, I'm that. It's going to work the second day. Because I've been programming myself with those negative words for years. So I
Exactly.
would literally hear myself when I used to say, I am, for example, successful. I'd hear another voice saying, no, you're not. So I would also watch that voice. That voice was very strong. So close your eyes, tell yourself, I am beautiful. And then listen to the other voice. What is it telling you? No, you're not. No, you're ugly. No, you're this. So it's being kind, it's practicing self compassion and doing it every day with patience and changing your actions. So you change your words, hear your other part of the voice, and then do action to actually prove that you're doing something. Yeah.
But what if that voice is too loud?
Just like the radio frequency, that's how I see it. So basically, you have a negative channel, which is our negative voice, our inner critic. You're ugly, you're la 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 la, whatever. It's telling you all the bad things. And then, you cannot just tune it down. You have to raise another positive radio channel, raise it so loud that you can't really hear that. It's going to be, but then what's going to win? The loudest. So practice makes perfect. It took
I
me a year to do that, but it worked.
It worked. It definitely works. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly share with you what my smile strategy is because when I sent you that email, I said I'm a smile strategist. I help people get from stuck to unstuck with a 5-step formula, blah, blah, blah. So let me take this opportunity to quickly share with you what it is. It is silence the mind. No, I say you get from feeling stuck to unstuck using gratitude and acceptance, which, as we discussed, is the word alhamdulillah, right? Because you need to have gratitude even when you are challenged, you still say alhamdulillah and you mean it. You say it and you mean it. So using gratitude and acceptance, acceptance, I say, comes when you smile.
Yeah.
So it is silence the mind,
Mhm.
manage your attention, identify the intention,
Mhm.
let things go, and energize the possibilities.
I love that.
Thank you.
Love that. When did you
So
come up with that?
when I did my TEDx talk
Beautiful.
in 2016, I'm one of those people who doesn't wait till I'm ready. It's like, it was more like I was beginning to see people around me who are constantly complaining about life. And I said, what's one platform where I could share my story or have a powerful message about ownership? Because the world is full of so many possibilities. So given you know what happens, right? You ask for the question and the universe replies. And
Yeah.
here I was, not a trained speaker, not an orator, not a toastmaster, just somebody who wanted to share a message, and I got the opportunity to be on the TEDx stage. So I sat with myself and I said, okay, you gave me the opportunity, now give me a message. And this came about because I knew exactly what I wanted to present as a bigger picture, but I had to chunk it down into a proper idea to share. And so that's where the smile was created. No, I didn't do research over it, nothing. But now, after years and years of presenting it, I've realized how beautifully one fits into the other. It's almost like I got the product and now I'm researching it. So, yeah, so I run this for students, for educators, for parents in the corporate space. And I feel right now, more than anything, we need the smile because we're all transitioning, right? The world itself.
I love that. I love that.
Thank
And of
you.
course, Every element, I'm sure it has its own strategy by itself, because every
Yes.
element is huge. It's research by its own, with
True.
tools, exercises. So I think you integrated the whole, beautiful elements that we need to promote really well-being in our life and to flourish.
Yes.
Good
Thank
on
you.
you. That's great.
Hmm. And why that came about to share it right now was because you said after forgiveness and after turning down the volume, you have to take action, which
True.
is letting it go, letting that negative voice go, and then taking the action of energizing possibilities.
True. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't keep, because sometimes when I work with clients, they tell me that, you know what, affirmation's not working with me. But are you doing anything about it?
Hmm.
Yes, I say to myself, I am, I am fit, I am fit, I am fit. But I eat chocolate every day, every day, every day. I am fit, but the last time I went to the gym was 3 months ago. يعني start with the affirmation, get into that, but also add action to it. Challenge yourself, prove to yourself that this is actually happening. Or what I like to tell them, if you don't feel ready to say I am fit, you can say something like, I am learning to become fit and healthy. I'm in the process of learning. I'm in the process of loving myself. For me, this was my affirmation in the beginning because I didn't know what self love was. It used to bother me when my healer used to tell me, just love yourself. What do you mean? How am I supposed to love myself? I go to the spa, I fix my hair. What am I supposed to do? It bothered me because I didn't know what my needs were. I didn't know what my needs were. I didn't know what was missing. So when I understood myself through reflection and journaling, and then I understood that, oh my God, I need those needs. And then I started fulfilling those needs, healing my inner child, giving myself those needs, not blaming other people for not giving them to me. It's over now. Now I'm responsible. I'm an adult. And then loving myself during the process, accepting myself for failing sometimes. Sometimes I go to the gym. Sometimes I do my yoga. Sometimes I don't. Practicing self compassion during the healing journey. Now I get it. Like, wow, self love is actually awesome.
Yes, it definitely is. And even more awesome than that is that affirmation. And I've actually put it down for anybody who needs to who needs to affirm to themselves that I am in the process of loving myself. Because
Yeah.
that's so powerful, right? When you don't know how to start loving yourself, even that I am in the process of loving myself just gives you that breathing room actually.
And it's realistic.
And it's realistic. It's not like I am in love with myself. No, I'm not. I'm still in the process. I'm still getting there, and that's also okay. So thank you.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you.
And of course. And yeah, the thing I also wanted to share regarding affirmations, I used to say something like, I am patient, right? But I realized that it wasn't really a good affirmation. I am patient. Why? For me, it was attracting so many situations to prove that I'm actually patient.
I like that.
So it's also picking the words. It's being careful and picking the right affirmations that matches you, that suits you. Or you can say that I am patient with ease and grace, that this comes to me easy. I don't
Hmm.
need to suffer to be patient. I don't need to suffer to become successful. I don't need
Hmm.
to suffer to be rich. I can say, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich, I am rich. But something happens, I get into an accident and then I become rich. I don't want that. Or someone, my family, God forbids, dies and then I become rich. I don't want that. I want to be rich and healthy with ease and grace. So always add those words, ease and grace. You'll
I
feel the
love
difference.
that. I
Yeah.
love that. Because sometimes we use our words so loosely. We don't
Mhm.
understand the responsibility that comes in the words we use. That is so, so important with
Yes. And
happiness,
we
with growth.
understand, of course, and when we understand the responsibility of our words, we also understand the responsibility it will have on other people. Because when you just tell someone, why are you like that really hurts. When you just, pop words out of our mouth just like that. So
Hmm.
it's really picking the words carefully. Oh,
And
we
being
have a
mindful. We have a comment, Mark says the problem, as I understand it, is that affirmations don't work for many people because their unconscious needs to believe what is being said for anything to happen. True that.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So that works both ways. So either you work on, for example, when you work on your healing journey, you are removing limiting beliefs and replacing them with positive beliefs. So you do that simultaneously with affirmations. What you have to do with them both. You
Hmm.
can't have limiting beliefs in your subconscious. And of course, you're not going to believe. For example, you have this limiting belief that you are not fit, for example. And your father has been telling you, you're not fit, you're not fit, you look like this, you look like that. It's been 30 years you hear those words. Of course, you're not going to believe when you say, I am fit, I am beautiful, I am fit. You're not going to believe that. But it's understanding, first of all, why did you accept that belief? How is this belief serving you? Why did you believe it? What are you getting out of this belief? What lesson did you learn? And being okay with that, really healing yourself and understanding that you
We're having the technical issue once again. Hanan, please. Oops. Okay. Hmm. Okay, just give me a moment. I will be right back. No, she's here. Just stay with us on this because this was really good, what she was talking about. Okay, Hanan is here, but I am not able to add her on. All right.
Hi.
So you're back.
All right.
You were talking about, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so did you get my answer regarding the
The
affirmations?
No, I did
Subconscious?
not. Would it be okay if you started again, please?
Of course, of course. So, yes, you're hearing that you are, for example, not smart for 20 years. So you took that belief. Now it's in your subconscious that you are not a smart person, for example. So, of course, if you use the affirmation, I am smart, you're going to feel like it's not going to work because, it's been 30, 20, 30 years. You accepted that belief. It's in your subconscious, which is 90% of your brain. So it's all where all your memories, your thoughts, your beliefs are there. And so what would you do is that you would work simultaneously with removing the beliefs in your subconscious. So your subconscious have limiting beliefs. So work on removing those limiting beliefs, adding positive beliefs, and then doing integrating affirmations with it. So
Hmm.
how to remove negative beliefs from your subconscious or limiting beliefs is understanding first why you accepted that belief. How is that belief serving you? What lesson did you learn? How did that trauma serve you?
Hmm.
What are you getting out of it? What did you learn as a lesson? So, really being okay with that past and acknowledging that you do have that belief, and then using affirmations with it. But you need to do it coherently together. That's how
Very
I did it.
often, brilliant. And that's such a valid and important point that you bring to the table because sometimes staying in a particular comfort zone is easier than stepping outside and changing that conversation.
Yeah.
Because when you step outside, it's unfamiliar, it's unknown. You don't know how things are going to be. You don't know how people will react when you get angry. You don't know how people will behave if you get into a space of self-love because they've never seen you do that. So you
Yeah.
feel like instead of going through that discomfort of doing something for myself, might as well stay here and wallow for a bit because this is comfortable
Yeah.
and I'm so used to it. So I like that the affirmations that you've been using all start with I am.
Yes, I
Tell me
am.
about I am.
I am is such a powerful word. I mean, um, it's different when you say, for example, I have this, or I must have this, or I'm supposed to be this. It's different. I am is like a statement where this is you, this is your identity. So there's strength to it. It's in the present moment, you already have it, and you already feel it. So it's a state of the now. I already have it. I'm smart. So it's not I'm going to be smart or I'm going to work on becoming smart or I will be smart. So when are you going to be smart?
I am.
Why are you putting time frame? I am. So it's a state of now, it's visualizing, it's being. And then when you become and when you feel it, your physiology changes.
And it
When you,
did when you just started speaking about it. It's beautiful to observe, isn't it? So
thank you.
it's like you literally
I
stepped
mean,
up.
yeah. Have you seen Ruqya? There's a study also done it was on TEDx by Amy Cuddy. She
Mhm.
talks about the power of our words and the power of our language, our body
Body
language,
language.
when it comes to our confidence level. And so they have observed two groups. One group, they put them in a room where they were doing some body languages you know, that showcases they have low self-esteem or that they're afraid. Things like this, things like, you are just bottling up on yourself. Yeah,
Gotcha.
with your shoulders down. And other people, the other group, they told them to actually, for 2 minutes, stand with the power pose, like the Wonder Woman. Just stand for 2 minutes. Or do the victory. Or put your legs on, cross your legs. Or put them on the table, like those CEOs and those multimillionaires that they're always, like, we're just chilling on the table. I have so much
Mhm.
money. So they have realized that those people that practice those super poses, those confidence poses, had more testosterone, which is the male hormone, the hormone that promotes strength, and less cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, and the opposite for vice versa for the other group. So it's very important also, yes, to start with I am because it's me. It's happening now. It's I am telling myself that. So I am in this physiology. So I'm gonna act this way before
Hmm.
the interview, before anything, before doing anything. Be in the present moment. Yeah.
So I've started for a couple of actually it's more than a year now. I've started to use the power of I am at the end of my live every day. So when I do my daily live, and today is day 1402 of that commitment every single day, alhamdulillah. So when I finish the live, what I invite my audience to do is, if this has been of value to you, please type in comments I am, and we just have an affirmation based on what it is that I was talking about. And today's quote is, value the value in others.
Beautiful.
Hmm. So
Value
thank you.
the value in others. I like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it can be easy to lose track, by the way, of things that are coming in our way that are constantly, for example, people who help us. We take them for granted. Positive quotes that we see on Instagram, we just skip them sometimes. So there's so much information overload that we tend to lose track and forget that this is value. I should really, I don't like saying I should, but I should be grateful. You know what I mean for that? So, yes, value the value of others. I like it.
Thank you so much. So thank you, and I definitely value you, the person you are, the work you do, and the humility with which you shine, Hanan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
And and as we come to a close, what is something that you would like to share with the listeners as closing comments?
Not to be afraid to embark on that self love journey. See the barriers that are stopping you to reach or to embark on that journey because all those barriers are not yours. All those barriers are from a place of fear. Embark on that journey with awareness, with enough knowledge, with people supporting you, with understanding your needs. Because when you invest in yourself and when you love yourself, when you give yourself and when you become that full cup, you will start to overflow with kindness, with giving to other people. Only when you become the change will you start seeing change in other people. Only when you shine and become light will you be able to spread that. So love yourselves. Simple as that.
Thank you so much, and thank you. I can't thank you enough for the time, for the work you do, and for the person that you are. Thank you, Hanan, for joining and for saying yes to my humble invite. And thank you, everybody who's watching us tonight and will catch us on replay. Thank you for your time. It's irreplaceable. Once you've invested your time, it's gone. I do hope this was of value to you. And yes, have a great evening, rest of the day, wherever you are in the world.
Thank you, Ruqya, for giving me the space to share my thoughts, my emotions, my expertise, and to be with those kind people. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hopefully, this is not the last conversation we have. And good on you for doing all this work and bringing all these people together and sharing your love and light. It's also brilliant. So thank you,
so
Ruqya. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.